This time I wrote a text, and I hope I will not bother you with it. Usually I speak from the heart. My text is from the heart, but I wanted to make sure that what I wanted to say will be all there, and that's why I wrote something. It's entitled For an Alliance Between Civil Society and Business. Are we still relevant? This is the question that continues to challenge Sopar and Bala Vikasa. That with my wife, we founded more than 40 years ago to help the poorest of the poor of India. Now, in this fast-changing world of globalization, emerging countries, and social media, relevancy obliges us to realize that we cannot do business as usual. For the civil society, of which Bala Vikasa is a dynamic player, it is also true for the corporate and business world. In this fast-changing world, business as usual is a non-starter. Let's look around the world. The business community usually is well aware that business as usual does not make any more sense. As says Harish Manwani, CEO of Unilever, I quote, "The traditional 3Gs model base of consistent, competitive, and profitable growth is now being replaced by a 4Gs model. Consistent, competitive, profitable, but also responsible growth. A new paradigm is being created. The aim of business is to create value, not only the economic, but also the social. Good business means to be socially responsible. All over the planet, the big corporation, but also the small and medium-sized enterprises are beginning to take social responsibility very seriously. Governments are also creating incentive and legislations to bring the business world into the fold of social responsibility. As we know, in India, CSR is mandatory for all companies according to the bill number 121-C approved by Lok Sabha on December 18, 2012. While social responsibility is more and more recognized as a value added to business profitability, special attention should be given, especially in India, to social entrepreneurship. With about half of its population still under the age of 24, India needs to absorb from 10 to 12 million new jobs to the labor market each year for the last 10 decades. Government and big corporations, having reached their limitation of job creation, it is actually recognized that the problem of unemployment would have to be handled by a dynamic and vigorous entrepreneurship sector being socially responsible. While it becomes obvious that being good corporate citizen adds value to business, difficulty remain in their entirety. The number of CSR evaluation show that although generally quite good at making profit, businesses are not really equipped to generate social impact in the community. Oftentimes, there is a lack of communication between the company and the community at its grassroots. Business seems to favor a top-down and a narrow approach that in the long run discourage community participation. There is little expertise and knowledge for capacity building and in working with local community. Being new in the field of community development, companies know little about approach and methodologies to achieve long-term sustainability. A shift of mindset is needed and new initiatives must be taken to meet the challenge faced by the business and entrepreneurial community in meeting social responsibility. That was the conclusion of our analysis while assessing Bala Vikasa future. That was also the result of our studies related to business as good corporate citizen. On one hand, civil society, in practical term, Bala Vikasa, with limited resources, has the commitment, the know-how, and the expertise in working at the community level for development sustainability. For instance, over its 43 years of field experience, Bala Vikasa has been involved in more than 6,000 villages, mobilizing more than 5 million people. It has developed an asset-based community development approach leading to the model community concept. By the end of 2019, 129 villages in Telangana and Andhra have already reached the status of model communities. Bala Vikasa is using empowering methodologies based on the best practice of positive psychology. It has set a community-driven community training center of excellence, PDTC. It's the People Development Training Center, where agents of change from all over India and at this point of time, more than 80 countries throughout the world are being trained. On the other hand, looking at the for-profit sector, while lacking expertise in the field of sustainability and community development, the business and entrepreneurial community has the will and the potentially large resources to impact on the social development of the society. In this context, an active alliance between the civil society and the business world will go a long way to meet the social challenges of India, of our changing world. Based on this rationale, Bala Vikasa is giving itself the tools necessary to build alliance with the business and entrepreneurial community. Bala Vikasa has created this hub, the Bala Vikasa International Center, BVIC, for social entrepreneurship and business responsibility, for businesses that care. BVIC has developed a strategy for social entrepreneurship and business responsibility. Today, the mission, the strategy, and the service that BVIC intends to provide may be found in this magnificent campus. Under BVIC, a network of socially like-minded institutions, organizations, and corporations are being created, and a number of promising activities have already been initiated and being implemented. Thanks to a great number of committed people, BVIC is proudly standing tall and beautiful on this campus, ready to be an inclusive platform where civil society and the business community are joining hands in an alliance for the social and sustainable betterment of our society. Ready till the end in the fight against poverty and inequality. To conclude, We wish to refer to SOPAR Bala Vikasa values and mission, and particularly to its long-term vision. I quote, "We long for a just and peaceful society in which each individual and each community is empowered and self-reliant, where human dignity, equal rights, and equal opportunities are enjoyed by all." SOPAR Bala Vikasa Zindabad.
André said everything on the subject. I will not say anything because everybody else also said. But I take 1 minute just to thank the people. I will start from all of you that are here. For one reason or other, you are part of Bala Vikasa family. Therefore, I want to thank all of you. Then I want to thank, Shirley, can you come here? The corporate people that are already helped Bala Vikasa and will help in future. So I will ask Sharadi to say who helped the corporates until now.
We have about 18 corporate companies who are funding us, and one of the major donors are Franklin Templeton, Arabindo Pharma, Verizon, Bharat Finance. So we have about 18 companies who are funding Bala Vikasa. So we thank each one of them.
So we thank to all of them and the future ones also. Then I want to thank SOPAR. SOPAR in Canada is the basis that on which Bala Vikasa is founded, and Bala Vikasa is working. Of course, Bala Vikasa as a child of SOPAR has grown more than SOPAR. And SOPAR, we have a board there. All the board members of SOPAR give a lot of time and lot of energy to help Bala Vikasa. As you saw, my son, I am very proud of him. Mark, he is the president of SOPAR. He takes it as a big challenge and he is really committed. I shouldn't boast about my son, but I should boast. He's really committed person, very good thinking, very logical, and want Bala Vikasa to be growing day by day, reaching more and more people, helping more and more people. So I thank Mark and André. André is vice president since 30 years with SOPAR. He gave his life so much. And he was president, he was the director in his life with SOPAR. SOPAR, he was also president for a number of years. He was also director for a number of years. Now he is vice president and fully, he's not for the name or the fame or anything, but to give the service is the one that it is. And André also, as he said, he prepared his son to be part of SOPAR. Francois, we have to appreciate Francois very much. He gave a lot of donation to SOPAR, which means to Bala Vikasa. Part of the donation what he gave was for the programs, part of it is for this construction also. So we thank Francois in front of everybody. Then we have here Marcel. Marcel Barrel is the gentleman here. We came to know him only last year, but we feel like we know him all lifelong because we went to visit him. He came last year to see this center and he said, "Wow, will it be finished? It's so complicated, this construction. The pillars are very all, not normal looking. You can see that. Everything is abnormal looking so much. And now today he see and he says, I am amazed. I am really appreciated. So Marcel is a big donor. Since last year he came, but he joined SOPAR and Bala Vikasa with full heart. And Luz, Marcel's wife also, very, very committed, generous donors, real generous. Every year also from now on, he committed to help every year from now on for Bala Vikasa. So we appreciate very much Marcel and Luz for their generous help. And when we went to see in his house, we went to visit him, you have to see how clean, how nice, anything. So that's appreciate also the Quartz and our friends, Rishad and the whole team. They help also a lot in publicizing so far in different places, talking and everything. And the Quartz now joined so far as family members. They will be going to different places and talk about Bala Vikasa and programs. So we appreciate so far board, so far donors, so far friends very much, and that's for so far. So if I come to Bala Vikasa, I have to say the board members of Indra Reddy and Shiv Reddy and etc., etc. I don't have to say the names, but they are all very, very committed, very interested to see Bala Vikasa goes forward. And I should never forget, more than anybody, is the staff of Bala Vikasa. The office staff, field staff, and in so many villages, 6,500 villages, Bala Vikasa reached. 5 million people means it is through the staff. So we have to give a big hand for Bala Vikasa staff. And at this point, I should say, I may not get the chance, Shauri. If I put half of the staff on one side and Shauri on the other side, it balances. I don't say all the staff, I said half. But he is day and night, totally thinking, planning, talking, writing, everything. From small project to the big project, he is so committed. So we are so proud of him. And so we congratulate Shiv Reddy very much. Thank you very much, Shiv Reddy. Thank you very much.